Biolens Seed is one of the rarest purple salvage items in the game, and they're probably the reason why you still don't have blue shields unlocked, in case that you don't. So I'm gonna talk about the best ways to get Biolens Seeds for both solos and trios. Obviously solos are not the most optimal way to do this, or anything else in the game really. And there isn't really a super easy way to get a lot of Biolens Seeds. Like if you think about it, the easiest way would be to go to one of the POIs where Biolens Seed can be found and then just find one and exfil with it, right? You can do that in solos very easily, but it's a bit of a waste of time unless you have a bunch of materialist plus items. These are going to be necessary if you're target farming Biolens Seed, no matter what method you use. So if you don't have these stashed up, you should start working on that. Just whenever you play the game, pay attention to materialist items, always hover over them, see if it's materialist plus. Doesn't matter if it's a white core or white implant, as long as it's materialist plus, take it and stash it. The way that materialist items work, if you don't know already. Let's say you have one materialist plus item in your inventory and you find one Biolens Seed, you will exfil with 2 Biolens Seeds. If you have 3 materialist plus items in your inventory, you find 2 Biolens Seeds, you will exfil with 5. So the amount of materialist plus items that you have on you upon exfil, that is the amount of bonus blue and purple salvage that you're gonna get. So if you're farming this solo, the first thing you should do is pick up a new caloric contract. And I know you don't like to hear this. People always say they never get Biolens Seed from new caloric level ups, but they do obviously drop. So if you're target farming Biolens Seed, there's no reason not to have new caloric contracts on. Then what I would do if I were to farm this solo, like I said earlier, you can go to POIs that drop Biolens Seed if you can afford to bring in like a few materialist plus items. Of course it's risky, you might die and lose those items and they're quite rare and then you're gonna get mad like I did when I died with 6 of those on me, but that's a risk you have to take. So I would go to Dire Marsh and loot all the locations where Biolens Seed can be found, and especially all the bioprinters. 5 raids later, when I realized that I haven't found a single one yet, I would start bringing in keys. It's very often that I find Biolens Seed even in blue keys, and I think it's a much better option to do this as a solo. Now, if you have a team to play with, doing lockdowns on Dire Marsh can be a good source of Biolens Seed. I would probably bring like only 2 materialist plus items for this, because doing lockdowns can be pretty risky. You have to either wipe the lobby first, or you have to just risk it and hope that nobody comes after you while you're doing the lockdown. But by far the best map for this is of course Cryo Archive. If you have a team that can somewhat consistently exfil from Cryo, you will get many Biolens Seeds very fast. Bring in a couple of materialist plus items and specifically look for these rooms. They require clearance level 3, but some of them can be accessed through a vent regardless of clearance level. There are multiple of these rooms, and I usually find at least 1 Biolens Seed there every single time. And there was a time when I found 4 of them. That was kind of nice. I also had 3 materialist plus items on me, and that equals 7 Biolens Seeds. Never mind, I didn't exfil. So in the end, like I said, there's not really an easy way to get these. There's no Biolens Seed life hack that will change your life forever. The best you can do is focus on leveling up new caloric and stashing up materialist plus items. And then once you have enough, do one of these methods that I talked about. Trios obviously being the better option, but with a bit of patience you can get a good amount of Biolens Seeds even in solos.